The following episode was recorded live at a Kink festival. Imagine wandering through a crowded Kink event and catching the faint sound of someone baring their soul just beyond a velvet curtain. That's what this episode invites you into. This is the Erotic Realm Confessional, the world's first live anonymous Kink confessional booth, set up inside a real Kink festival. Over one unforgettable day, strangers stepped inside, unseen, and whispered their rawest truths into a microphone. You'll hear them exactly as they were recorded, unfiltered, anonymous, and surrounded by the soft hum of Kink in motion. You'll hear music, you'll hear conversations, you'll hear people having a kinky time in the background, but mostly, you'll hear what it's like to confess your desires with no one watching and everyone listening. If you don't usually wear headphones, you might want to for this one. It's like leaning in to overhear something you were never meant to hear. Welcome to the Erotic Realm Confessional, where you confess your desires. Enjoy.
Okay, so this is the first confessional. Who do I have here with me today?
Ellie Mae.
Okay, and why are you at Oz Kink Fest?
I'm actually in a female-led relationship and wanting to explore the community and see what else was out there, getting information on maybe how I can use ropes and spanking and things like that, just to improve the relationship.
Beautiful. So how long have you been in this relationship?
I would say about a year, almost a year. Yes.
Okay. And how did you meet? Was it in the kink scene?
No, we met on a Facebook dating page.
Cool.
And it wasn't until almost a year later that Chris actually told me about the female-led relationship. So we tried it and I'm loving it.
So were you kinky when you met, or have you become kinky throughout this relationship?
No, I was never kinky when we met. We did try me as a submissive and him as a dominant. But after being a domestic violence survivor, I found that just wasn't for me. So when he suggested the female-led relationship, I did some research and it's working perfectly. We're happy.
And your partner's actually here with you today. If you can you just describe the scene in front of you?
So he's actually down on his knees in front of me. He's got a collar around his neck and I am leading him round with a chain, and he walks behind me and carries my bags.
Wonderful. So now that you're exploring this world of kink, do you feel like you've actually always been kinky and it was something deep inside of you, or is it something you've grown into?
I think it's something that I've grown into. Even just being outgoing, it sort of came at a later stage in my adult life. But I think I've found where I want to be.
And how do you know that? Does it feel like it's just you? You feel empowered?
I feel empowered. I feel like I have control of my life, and I'm being treated like a queen. Like I feel like I maybe should have my entire life.
Yes. And is this your first Oz Kink Fest?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what are you hoping to explore today? Are you going to the after party? Do you have a scene in mind? Are you just vibing?
We're just vibing at the moment. We just wanted to come and see what this day event was going to be like, and then possibly explore the other events maybe next year.
Okay, and I'm curious to hear, what's your biggest kink at the moment?
Biggest kink? At the moment we're doing Locktober. So Chris has actually got a chastity cage on, and so he is not allowed to have any intercourse with me at all.
Right.
Only with permission but not in October. He has to remain locked up, apart from hygiene reasons of showering and things like that. So probably at the moment, that's really it. Just having the full control of. I actually am in control of him having to satisfy me, and I don't have to satisfy him at all if I don't want to.
Amazing. And do you have a kink that you're looking forward to exploring in the near future?
Possibly the arts of ropes. I just saw some of the rope art and things like that on the stools. So I think we'll look at doing that, of course, and explore that avenue.
Beautiful. And lastly, do you have anything that you would like to confess today?
Do I have anything that I want to confess today? That I'm actually enjoying this?
I love it.
That I actually feel like I'm fitting in, and I'm enjoying seeing other people being who they truly are. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for confessing. If you're up to it, I'd like you just to pass the mic down, because it feels wrong if he gets up in the chair now
Exactly.
and you wait for him. So maybe he can do the confessional while he's on his knees.
Absolutely. I'll pass it over.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Perhaps if you just come a little bit closer so I can hear you, if that's okay. It's a little bit noisy out there.
Does that work for you, ma'am?
Yes. So who are you?
My name's Chris.
Okay. And we've heard from your partner today. Can you tell us your side of the story?
I had quite a few years in a loveless, sexless marriage. I've always been a submissive. When I met my queen, I wasn't expecting to end up where I am now, and to be honest, I just absolutely love being able to serve my beautiful mistress.
Oh, that's really touching. So you said you've always been submissive. Have you explored it much before this relationship?
Tentatively solo play. I did explore the dominant side and switch, but that just was against my nature.
Okay. And is this your first Oz Kink Fest today, or have you been here before?
This is our first one, ma'am.
Ah, both together. Lovely. So what's your biggest kink at the moment?
Word kink covers so much.
It does.
As my queen said, we are engaging in Locktober, which has psychologically and emotionally just been an absolute driver for us. We've both feel like we've reached a point where we couldn't get much closer. So I agree with my mistress. Locktober is our biggest kink at the moment. Chastity play.
So what does submission mean to you, Chris?
Absolute servitude to my queen. What she wants, she gets, and I'm honestly could not be happier when I'm serving her. Whether it's cooking dinner or doing the washing, I love seeing my queen just take a load off and read a book. It's fantastic.
So one of the conversations that's been coming up recently on the podcast is a few submissive men that I've spoken to have been struggling with the idea of maintaining their masculinity while being a submissive man. Is that something that you've come across, this stigma around submissive men?
Look, I think there's a lot of submissive men there that the true masculinity, I believe, is to serve the feminine. The feminine is the divine, and if we can serve it, I think the world would be much better if we could all step into our true masculine and serve the females in our life.
Beautifully said. And do you have anything that you would like to confess today, Chris?
I just confess my love and my admiration to my beautiful queen, and I thank her every day I wake up. I feel blessed.
That's so amazing. I can see the love between you. Thank you for sharing it with us today, and thank you for confessing on
Thank
the
you for
Erotic
having
Realm.
us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we are at the Erotic Realm Confessional. We have someone else here who would like to confess. So who are you?
Hi, my name is Beanie.
Okay, cool. And what should we know about you and your kinks? Who are you when it comes to your eroticism?
So, for the most part, I love sort of sensory play, anything sensory deprivation, tying me up, covering my eyes, things that really make me hone in on my physical body a little bit more and let go of what is going on in my mind. So I tend to lean towards, wax play, impact as well. But I'm also a person who's disabled, so things like rope play I can't quite get into because there's too much risk of me injuring myself.
Right.
So oftentimes we look at other ways of playing with restraints that are also safe. Yeah.
And are you normally taking on the more submissive role in these situations? Do you switch it up?
I've historically been more on the submissive role, but as I continue to get older and also embracing more of my sexuality and exploring more with women, I've found that I really enjoy topping just as much. So I've really been learning from my peers around me how to be a safe and, beginner dom as well.
Beautiful. And is this your first Oz Kink Fest, or have you been here before?
No, I've been here for the last 3 years, and I've been part of the scene here in Melbourne for roughly about 4 years now.
Okay. And do you have any particular desires or kinks you're hoping to explore today?
I'm not so sure about today, but I'm certainly building up my collection at the moment, looking for lots of new rubbery toys for the bedroom. I do have one little niche kink that really, really turns me on and is something that I'm not even sure how to bring to life.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the movie Transformers?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's something about Transformers that really gets it going for me. So I'm really wanting to figure out how to explore more of like a almost robot-y type of thing. I have a feeling that a little bit of metal and a little bit of latex might help get me there. So
okay, this is a kink I haven't heard about before.
No.
So I am needing to know more. This is a great confession. So
okay, so have you ever seen people do like the hear me out cakes where they're like, hear me out, this is a really random thing that I want to fuck?
Yep.
Yeah, that's me with Transformers. I can't explain it. It's something about how they, I don't know, transform.
Okay, so you want to be the submissive in this situation?
Yeah, I want to be terrified.
Yeah.
Like utterly terrified by a robot-y thing.
Okay. So they normally are cars? I'm trying to remember exactly what Transformers are.
So they usually start as like cars or trucks or some kind of, I don't know, I've seen one that was a digger. And then they morph into these humanoid type characters and they have such like a strong and almost like a toxic masculine energy. And I'm not attracted to toxic masculine energy, but I want to fuck it.
Okay. Cool. So I just have to say, you flicked your hair when you said digger. Is the digger your choice?
The digger is not my choice, no. If we were being literal about the movies, it would be Bumblebee every time.
Okay.
He just seems very sweet, He seems like he would give you aftercare. Yeah.
Have you looked up to see if there are any costumes for this kind of vibe?
I'm going to be honest, I haven't looked up costumes. I haven't even tried to check for porn on that sort of thing. I just feel like I'm opening a can of worms that I couldn't unopen. So
well, you never know. You might find someone today that could make you a costume that you could take home and just wait for the right person.
Very true. It's very true. A mask at the very least. Yeah.
Amazing. So thinking about your kinks, what do you wish was more understood about some of your kinks or a particular kink that you have in general?
I'm finding it hard to single in on a kink per se, but I think something I wish people more understood when it comes to fetish as a whole. I feel like a lot of people, when you say, oh, I'm kinky or I'm part of the fetish community, they immediately assume that you're just out to, have sex with anyone and do anything. And I think they don't realize that this community is so much safer than they think because we really take care of each other and we're exploring sides of ourselves that are super sensitive and really hard to be able to explore with a regular Joe, if you will. And it's not just about the sex, it's about connection, it's about being yourself, feeling your body, feeling sensation, each to their own.
So how did you discover the kink world? You said you've been in it for a few years now. What was the beginning of your journey like?
I think the beginning of my journey was a combination of finding more, I'm going to say hardcore porn to start off and kind of open up my eyes in that realm, but then finding the right people to realize that the way that it's often represented in media is not what it has to be in real life. And I then met a really, really lovely person who was open to exploring that with me and started taking me to my first event, Provocation, a classic. And from there, of course, just meeting more people, seeing people and knowing that I could fully be myself around them and being inspired by the outfits and the confidence and the sex appeal that everybody just like exuded. And I really wanted that. And that's, it's been a huge part of me being able to embrace myself.
Beautiful. So some people listening might not have been to a kink event before. Can you take us back to that moment of entering your first kink event? Did you play? Did you just watch? Yeah. What was the feeling?
So I went with this guy at the time that I was seeing. I was wearing a little red lace outfit, brand new, bought it for the event, of course. Entering, it was really nerve-wracking, but I also just immediately felt comfortable. The staff members at the front door made me feel comfortable and welcome, told them it was my first event and they kind of guided me through what to expect. And every single person I interacted with was so welcoming and excited for me, and it just made me want to go again the next weekend and the next.
Amazing. So I'm curious to hear from you. It sounds like you've had a few experiences, a few years exploring now. If I was to ask you what's a peak erotic experience that you've had during that time, what comes to your mind, something that you're comfortable sharing?
I think it's definitely hard to pick one, and of course as soon as you ask a question they all go running through your head and going, oh my god, which one should I talk about?
I love that there's more than one.
But I think one of my favorites that I often think about was I was at Atomica from Task Magazine, shout out Star, and I was dressed up in one of my little clown outfits, which is also a little bit of a fetish of mine. I really love the clown core. And I got to be dual topped for an impact scene with my partner and their partner. So we are polyamorous, but we're not, all dating each other. It's a little bit separate, but I got the opportunity to be topped by both of them. And it was such a fun experience for me because my partner's very experienced, but their partner was still like kind of learning. And it was nice to be able to be a bit of the dummy in that situation, while also drawing a really awesome crowd. Every single time I looked up, somebody was smiling ear to ear at me. So, yeah, I think that's probably one of my most fun experiences.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
So you mentioned clown.
Yes.
I don't think I've had someone on the podcast that's mentioned clown before.
Really?
No. Can you tell us more about that?
God. I feel like it's becoming more popular these days. I feel like a little clown girl goes a long way on, OnlyFans online these days. But for me, it's something about combining my sexuality and the silliness of it. I feel like growing up, you see sex as being such a serious thing. A lot of media teaches you that sex is sacred and all these sort of cliches. But as I started aging as a queer person, I also had to deal with the LGBTQ side of things, where oftentimes you feel like people view you differently or see you as, I guess, silly sometimes. So for me, dressing as a clown is when I feel my most confident. And majority of the times, if you see me at an event, I'm probably dressed as a clown.
Amazing.
It almost makes me feel like I can take off the fake mask of being brave out to the public and put on my clown mask of just being my authentic self and having fun with it.
Okay, and are you attracted to other clowns, or is it more you just like being one?
I'm very attracted to other clowns. I do have a type of clown, and it's usually curvy with a big ass.
Are we talking men, women,
We're
something else?
talking women. I love a curvy clown woman. She's the best. Men aren't off the table for me. I'm very pansexual. but there's something about a clown girl. I just love it.
Have you
I
seen
wanna
the
be
clown
silly.
running around today?
Oh yes, I've seen the clown running today.
Is that your vibe?
Yeah, that is my vibe. Yeah. They're very cool.
Yeah, amazing. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about kink or your kinks in general that you'd like people to hear?
I don't think not much else I could say about my kinks in general, but I think if I was to say anything, and I feel like the theme of everything I just touched on is be silly with it, you know?
Mhm.
Like have fun, explore what makes you feel good, and don't worry about any of the stigma or any of the things that you see that might bring you down. You've got a community out there, and we are bright and we are vibrant, and there's lots of people for you to, you know, interact and learn from. So just get silly with it, have fun, get out there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for confessing today. I really appreciate it.
No worries, thank you. This was fun.
It was. Okay, so welcome back to the Erotic Realm Confessional. We have another person here that's keen to confess. Who do we have?
I'm Sue.
Sue, and what brings you to Oz King Fest today?
Curiosity, mostly, I would say. My partners went in the past and they really enjoyed it, and I did go to the after party last year, and I was like, I want to explore a bit more of it and get a bit more involved.
Okay, so is it your first time at Oz King Fest?
My first time at the market. I have been to the after party before, and that was a lot of fun.
Okay, so are you new to kink?
I'd say so. I'm pretty baby.
How exciting. So how would you describe your kinky self?
Still quite shy and exploring what's out there, which is why being here today is so exciting and seeing all of the possibilities. I feel my current knowledge is limited, but the things I do know are very exciting and enjoyable. So I think sort of the starting out things I'm sure that most people are pretty familiar with are things like BDSM, bondage, and I personally really enjoy shibari. I think that's a beautiful art form as well. So I need to broaden my horizons a little bit.
Okay, so you said you're pretty new, you're exploring, and you like shibari. Do you have a sense of if you like being tied or being the tire at this point? Are you dominant, submissive, still exploring that? Where are you at with that?
I think I'm quite submissive. I like to be tied. I'm not super confident in being the dominant party. I don't feel I have the right skills or knowledge to tie someone yet. I'm open to exploring that at some point, but I'm not sure it's for me.
Okay, so you've only just discovered the kink world by the sounds of it. How did you discover it?
Mostly through my partners, I would have to say. So my girlfriend is very involved in the kink community. She is also a sex worker, and so she's taught me so much about sex, kink, and life, really.
So did you naturally just find that you were attracting partners that were into kink, and then you thought this is something that maybe I should explore?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Like my previous partners in the past as well have always been very into kink, and it's not something I explored very deeply with them because I didn't understand it. I was a little bit afraid, but I feel my current relationship, my partners, they give me so much confidence and they boost me up and they make me curious and help me want to explore. And because they have the knowledge as well, they can teach me, and it's been lovely learning the things that they enjoy as well.
So it's your first time at the market stalls. Have you seen anything that piqued your interest today, that surprised you, or you didn't realize that you were into or wanting to explore until today?
Well, I haven't explored too much. We've only just arrived, but I definitely saw a table with such a variety of paddles, and that was so exciting. I love just how many different types there are, and obviously they're going to have different impacts, different feels, and that's exciting. I think that's wonderful.
So is spanking a kink that you're looking to explore? Paddling?
Absolutely. I think I would love it.
It sounds like you would. So I'm curious to hear from you. As someone that's new to kink, do you have a peak erotic experience that you've had recently or during your time that really stands out to you in this exploration?
Oh, not really. I don't think so. Not that anything comes to mind particularly, unfortunately. My memory's not all that great.
That's okay. I'm curious about when you've been tied. How have you felt when you've been tied? Have you felt a sense of surrender, relief, stress relief? What's that feeling like for you so far?
There's a sense of comfort, and being able to sort of relinquish that control. I like the not having to think too much about what I'm doing with my body, and it's very stress relieving, I would say. But there is also that comfort in the tightness of the ropes and having those pressure points on my body to kind of focus on, and almost mindfulness, to think about, where is it on my body and how does it feel to breathe and feel that tighter on my skin.
It almost sounds like a meditation practice, the way that you describe it, bringing you into your body. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay, so we are in a confessional. Do you have a kinky confession that you'd like to make? Maybe a desire that you haven't shared with anyone yet, or something that you would like to happen tonight or today? What comes to mind when I ask this question?
What comes to mind? Honestly, one of my deepest desires, which I'm not sure I have the confidence to do today or tonight, but I would very much love a threesome or an orgy, have multiple people at once involved. That seems so exciting to me.
What's exciting about it? Just the overwhelming sense of the bodies, or just more people, more pleasure? What excites you about that idea?
I think more people, more pleasure. I love people, and to be surrounded by multiple beautiful people with the same interests, and we're all helping each other out, but also to be a bit of the center of attention as well, and have multiple people doting on me. So I get that little moment of being on a pedestal as well, I think would be really nice.
I forget if I've asked, but have you been to a kink event, like a play party?
No, I have not.
Okay, are you planning on going to one soon?
It would be nice, but it's not something I've thought too much about.
If you were to go to one, do you have a sense of what kind of role you would like to explore, or what kinks you would like to explore there? Or would you just like to go and be a voyeur and watch everyone?
I think for the first time, I think I very much would just be watching, and I'm definitely admiring, but I like to see things before I try them, so I can sit and learn and understand better visually, and then after that I'll probably have a better understanding of what did I enjoy watching, what made me excited the most, what did I think, I think I would enjoy feeling that myself, and that kind of would help give me an understanding of what to look for next.
Okay, and you do have your partner that's nearby. Can you give us a little bit more of an idea about the dynamic that you have with this partner?
Well, I don't really know. At the moment, I've been very asexual, so I haven't really been intimately involved with my partner much this year, but very much I appreciate them being around, and I find a lot of comfort from them, and I kind of need a lot of guidance from them. I like kind of being told. I ask a lot of questions, and I just need somebody to tell me what to do. So there is a bit of that, but otherwise, I think we're on very equal playing fields.
Okay, so you mentioned being somewhat asexual this year. Do you see kink as being inherently sexual? Some people see it as being outside the realm of sex and don't include it. As an asexual person, how do you view it?
Well, there's so many aspects to kink, and I think definitely some parts of that definitely apply to sex, but I think there is a lot more that they're art. It's an art form and a way to express yourself. So things like shibari, to me, that's art. It's the same as, somebody putting paint to canvas, except, it's wrote on a body. So it doesn't have to be sexual. And I don't think, it doesn't need to be. I don't think everybody should want it to be if that's not for them. There's just so much beauty surrounding it, and it can apply to so many things in so many ways.
Beautifully said. So before we finish this confessional and talk to your partner, is there anything else that you'd like to share about your journey, what it's like to be you on this journey, your exploration?
It is a little bit overwhelming because there's just too much things to kind of have a look at, and going in with very little understanding, it's sometimes very scary. But having the right people, being at events like this where everybody, are so compassionate towards this aspect of life, it really helps ease you into learning more and finding out the things that you enjoy. So I'm very excited to be here and be around like-minded people, and I hope to learn a lot of things today.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being part of the Erotic Realm Confessional today.
Thank you.
If you like, you can just pass the mic to your partner and we can continue. Thank you so much.
I wasn't sure if you wanted me, it just sort of couldn't hear you, so I was just like, I'll just hover. If you need, I'll be here. That'd be great. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to the Erotic Realm Confessional.
Hello, thank you for welcoming me.
So who do we have here?
Let's go with Tommy Sky.
Hi, Tommy Sky. So who are you when it comes to your sexuality?
It's one of those, it's that like hard flip between like bi and pan, but like I think just the distinction of like there's different aspects I enjoy, so I think it's probably easier to say bi is there's fluctuations and there's different feelings there. One of those, it's like Melbourne weather really. Depends on the day.
And what about your kinky stuff? Where do you sit with your kink? What's your biggest kink at the moment?
Ooh, biggest? That's a great question. I mean, it's the thing I've always loved, ropes, tying, mostly myself, but otherwise something I don't get to explore as often as I would like is hypnosis. I wouldn't say trained so much as experienced, but it was something I got kind of into an odd deep dive a few years ago, and it's had that sort of comeuppance every now and then with someone who's open to the idea, and we get to kind of have a session with, and it's a lot of fun. And it's also one of those, it opens up experiences so broadly for people, and helps kind of, I wouldn't say cross boundaries, but it allows for those sort of like I don't know, there's a difference in play when you can really make someone feel and believe something, like that you are so much smaller, that you are like, so overwhelmed with like lust or something, that you are completely lost in this sensation. You're aware that touching this area or this word, it creates a very different dynamic, and I think a lot of people would really get a lot more out if it was tried. But it's one of those, it's also, I'd say there's plenty of beyond misunderstanding. There's like a sort of like secondary fetishization where it's like exclusively treated as almost a non-consensual thing, and it's like, no, it's almost like a guided meditation. You're allowing, you're giving. It's very different, and it allows for a real wide array of dynamics that's really, really fulfilling.
Lovely. So I wanted to ask you about a peak erotic experience that you've had. My sense is you might have had one with hypnosis. Is that right? Something that you could share with us? I'd love to hear it.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I had to go get the nod of approval. So definitely for me, it's been exploring with one of my long-term partners. We just hit 4 years. Very exciting. But otherwise, we've been able to engage with a bit of hypnosis in many senses. And the one that really stands out, I would say, between many wonderful sessions is sort of like almost the difference, like intersecting things we found that really, really worked for them. A lot of it had to do with that sort of, almost primal level of like, you are just so intoxicated with the feeling as well. And they started to become curious around like, like we do it a lot where I'm brought out of like a trance state with like commands and different things. How is it kind of working in the trance state? And for them, they said like, while they couldn't outwardly express, we went over things very well beforehand, but they were like, it was like a dream-like kind of thrill and like climax of being so engaged and involved in the state and trance mid-action that really like, they were like, no, that was incredible. And that's for me, that's the big drive is satisfaction of partners is what drives me. So like knowing that someone is having the most fantastic time of their life. Wonderful. Couldn't ask for anything more.
That sounds amazing. So would you say that hypnosis can help someone unlock their orgasmic potential?
Oh, I would absolutely agree. Because it doesn't just open up in like a spiritual sense. It allows for a very physical, as you're able to really implant certain feelings in certain areas. For example, the simple one is, like displacing like sexual pleasure to a different part of the body, an itch in your back of the throat that acts like your clit. So you can only come by giving the best head possible, or like simple things like you just putting it in the palm of your hand, and just sort of letting them explore, licking their own hand or something. It's that simple displacement that would allow for a lot of broader experiences, especially for people who probably have difficulties exploring their own body, or find that, well, let's go with traditional methods don't typically work for them. Normal stimulation and just doesn't quite hit the itch. It allows for a very broad category to explore a lot of feelings and probably bridge the gap for people who find it difficult to come from purely clit stimulation or prostate stimulation or anything, but want that sort of hands-free or non-penetrative kind of experience.
Amazing. So staying on the topic of hypnosis, do you have a scene involving hypnosis that you would like to plan and do in the future? Is there something you're looking forward to with that particular kink?
Ooh, there is one that I really enjoy, which is specifically, this one could be like, as well used for affirmation simply, but otherwise, helping your partner to wear a strap and then sort of displacing the sensations and like, what they can physically see translates, so they're able to really get the experience of like, having their dick sucked when it's just a strap sort of thing. How it feels to really fuck your partner and feel the tension and movement, that sort of thing. That's probably the biggest, like, it's something I've gotten to have a lot of fun with, and it's one that I'd recommend as a really great exploration thing and an add-on, and really plays with the dynamics.
Wonderful. And what about today? Is there something that you're hoping to explore today at Oz Kink Fest, or perhaps the after party tonight?
I'm definitely coming to the after party. I think the thing for me is it's one of those, I know what I enjoy. I'm definitely still open-minded, but I realize a lot of the time I have this sort of like almost, I'm still trying to work through it, this sort of almost busyness in my life that I'm like a little displaced when I come to events. But the way I try and get around that, the focus is I come out and I try and be as absolutely pretty as possible. So this is my outfit now, and I'll have a bit larger one later for the after party. So that's my big goal, is go around, be pretty, and see if I can pick up some fun little things along the way.
Can you share a bit more about your outfit for later?
Oh, absolutely. That's definitely been a fun growth in my life, as I've found a lot more freedom in the last maybe 2 years. I recently started work as a male escort, and so my wardrobe updating has been near mandatory in my eyes. So collecting from different like lingerie like brands that I really enjoy, getting a lot of corsets that suit different outfits I already have, and then the blend between, you know, masculine and feminine. As right now I'm, for the listeners, I'm in very short leather skirt and like fishnet and tube top sort of thing, but I still have the full beard, as I really like the blend between both. So feminine makeup and a suit, just blending for me is a big part of that. But tonight I'll be wearing a mostly PVC outfit, PVC corset, PVC sort of bunny Playboy spin on the top half, and then just some pretty simplistic tights with some PVC heels, stiletto 6-inch I think, or maybe 7-inch, I can't quite remember.
I'm sure it will look amazing.
Thank you.
We are in the Erotic Realm Confessional. Is there anything that you would like to confess to do with your desires, kinks?
My first thought, and this is a really odd one because I wouldn't say it's entirely sexy, but it's one of those like, I have a big thing of promoting that you don't need to, as long as you're being, you know, sane, safe, consensual, and being smart about things, you don't need to be spending, you know, 500 plus on some sort of like equipment. Trialing things, being communicative with your partners, finding ways that work around that. And that's why I really appreciate hypnosis as an endeavor, as it allows for that sort of like, it's about building the connection. The quality of your goods doesn't always matter. It's about the bonds that you form. So taking the time, if you need to start with like cheap rope from like Love Honey or something, because that's also the thing of, you're going to feel a lot more comfort if you at any point while you're learning need to snip the rope. You're not going to have that second of hesitation of saying, oh, but this cost me $80. You'll build there. You'll get to that. If it's something for you, you'll build to having the dream gear. For now, focus on the play, the experimentation, learning and building and growing.
That's wonderful advice. Thank you. I'd love to thank you for being part of the Erotic Realm Confessional today.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to the very first Erotic Realm Confessional live from Oz Kink Fest. If you want to support future episodes of the Erotic Realm Confessional and help keep this project alive, become a paid subscriber over on my Psychology of Desire Substack, psychologyofdesire.substack.com. I'll put a link in the episode comments as well. This support will fund the gear, the travel, the editing, and the magic of the Erotic Realm Confessional. And if you'd like to bring the Erotic Realm Confessional to a festival in your city or your dungeon, your play party, or kinky gathering, simply reach out. I'd love to make it happen. You can grab me at emma@psychologyofdesire.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay embodied, and keep exploring. Also, as always, stay perverted.